Hello, people. My name is Daniel Bomay, formerly known as the Abbey Rabbi, and a few other titles which we won't get into. You've been watching my videos for some time here on YouTube. It's been a little while since I put one up, so today's theological thought is: how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? Woodchuck could chuck wood. Oh, that one too deep for you? How about if Peter Piper really did pick up peppers, how many pickled peppers would Peter Piper pick? Now, you're probably out there going like, have you completely lost it, man? No, but I'm going to tell you, what I just said probably made more spiritual sense than the last pack of videos and teachings I've heard coming out of Christian churches. I mean, what's with that? I've heard people arguing that Greek was the original. Come on, give me a break. It wasn't. There are people who argue Hebrew was original. Again, Hebrew was a dead language. It hasn't been until the 1900s, when Israel became a nation, that it came back as a language. So it did not exist in Roman times. The spoken languages of the Middle East were Aramaic was the common dialect. A Persian could understand you. A Babylonian could understand you. A Chaldean could understand you. Now, people go, yeah, but they're different countries and they had different languages. What they had was a common language, but they had different colloquialisms. It's kind of like being here in Canada. We speak English, French. We're a bilingual country, supposedly. Lately, it's been Tagalog and Hindi and Punjabi, and I don't know how many other languages coming in here. But that's another subject. And I got nothing wrong with people using their own language. But what we have here is a failure to communicate, just like they had back there. I'm going to take the chosen major language of my country, which is English. It's the spoken language. But there are things which I word myself here in Saskatchewan, which carry different meaning in, say, New Brunswick, as versus in BC, as versus the worst language of all is Newfoundlandese, which seem to have a dialect of their own. It seems to be a combination of Irish, Welsh, and English, and I don't know what all mishmash mixed together, and they have their own colloquialism. Just give an example. If you were in Newfoundland, as a Newfoundlander once told me, a bear is a bar is a beer, and a beer is a bear. In the rest of Canada, a beer is still a beer, a bear is still a bear, and a bar is where you go to get the beer. And hopefully you don't run into a bear, because if you run into the bear on the way to the bar, you know what's going to happen. Particularly if that bear happens to be drunk. I've gone off topic. I'm sorry. I repent. I was looking at these videos and pictures and stuff like this, and I posted one up and said, can you tell me what the difference is? What's wrong with this picture? And Wayne, God bless her pea-picking heart, went straight for, well, which God are they praying to? And I understand the comment. I really do. But just for the Greek people, I still allow and tolerate Jesus, because it's pretty well a standard thing. It may not be his original name. It was Yeshua, not Yahushua, not Jesus. It's Yeshua, all right? So these people who are inventing new names and changing everything around and adding letters just to prove their point need to stop that. Secondary issue was, I go, yeah, okay, we got that point, but wasn't really what I thought in my mind. What was wrong? If you looked at the picture, you would see a bunch of people at the altar standing or on their knees or flat on their faces. It may have been 1/1000th of the congregation that was there. That was at the front. The rest were sitting there, or, 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 just not there. It's kind of like they were quietly just waiting. One person was covered up in their coat, almost asleep. I'm sitting there going like, if you'd rather not be there, why are you there? I mean, I grew up in a community where if you went to church and they did the altar call, whether you needed Jesus for your first time in life or not, you were there. And you prayed through. And if you didn't have something to pray for, You found somebody to pray for. Why wasn't any of the brothers and sisters gathering around the newborns that were crying away to the Lord and welcoming them home? Why weren't they part of that birthing process if that's what's going on? Could so few of a larger congregation be so concerned over souls and the burden and the outpouring of God? What was that caption? What was the picture? I don't know what they were praying about. I couldn't tell you. All I know is the attitude which I saw. This lack of intimacy with the Lord, this complacency that we have in the spiritual world today, needs to be measured. You want to know what's wrong with America? There's your answer. You are weighed and you found wanting. Your mouth is saying, Lord, Lord, I love you, but your heart is far from him. Wake up, America. This is a warning. Judgment is pouring down upon you. Do you not see what's happening? Wake up. People are saying we need to do something. Some are saying we need to take up arms. I'm telling the citizens of America, the only armament that you need to put on is the armor of full salvation, the sword of righteousness, the breastplate of righteousness, and the sword of truth. That's the only armor that America needs to get to. Don't need guns, don't need knives, don't need bayonets, because it's truly written in the Bible, some men trust in chariots and some will trust in horses, but we will depend on the name of the Lord our God. Just a thought. If the dollar is really true, and in God you trust, maybe it's time to start trusting God. Until next time, in Yeshua's name, Shalom.